when we were trying to identify the right people to participate in this meeting, you were one of the names that came up, and this is in connection with an important activity that you are behind. You are the spirit behind the website called HiiL. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. HiiL.com is a citizen media platform in Jordan. I started it with a group of colleagues a few years ago because we felt that there is so much power in the maybe blogosphere and people people telling their own stories and sharing their opinions. And I don't like to use the term alternative media very much these days, but in so many ways it did provide an alternative space for a lot of young people to express their voices and opinions and engage in discussions. And one of the very interesting things for us has been that since Tunisia and Egypt and the Arab Spring, if we were to call it that, we've noticed a tremendous increase in contributions from people who want to discuss politics and political reform, and so one of the things we've chosen to do was to take some of these discussions that are happening online, offline, and also curate some kind of political forums where a lot of young people are engaging in discussions around political topics that maybe they were not discussing a year ago. So
okay. And why is it that you are reluctant to call it alternative media?
It's I think there are it's definitely not mainstream. Maybe it is alternative in some ways, but I just try. I think I shy away from some of these labels sometimes, like even saying citizen journalism or social media. Unfortunately, I think there's sometimes a lot of hype associated with these activities these days. So just trying to stay away from buzzwords and focus more on what we really do. Whether it's alternative or not is up for people to decide. So.
Okay, it's a very interesting endeavor, and I wish you all the best of luck with this. Now I want to ask, we have just ended this two-day meeting in The Hague at the Peace Palace, and I wanted to ask you very briefly, what is your general impression? What have you learned? What do you take back with you? What can you say?
Well, what I take back with me is so many things. It's very hard for me to sum up in a very short answer. I think this has been a very, very valuable meeting because I think bringing together legal experts and politicians and people from the media and academics from different Arab countries in this environment has been very valuable in providing insights into what is the reform that we aspire to achieve and how do we get there and what are the priorities. And I think for me personally, somebody who's not a lawyer but who has taken a deep interest in just a simple concept of rule of law. Because there's so many things you can, so many political slogans people can throw around, but really I think it all boils down to rule of law. And I've learned so many interesting things just about how to simplify what the goals are and then start thinking in practical terms of how to get there and how do we reach there. And I think dividing us into two groups, between constitutional reform and then civil society and the media has also been, very very helpful, for us to focus our discussions. I've learned a lot of things from the group that I was with in terms of what civil society and media can do in our different Arab countries. So.
Okay. Well, it's great to hear that you are so positive about this. I'm happy to hear that you've learned a lot, as you say, and we look forward to
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you very much.